the form of Lord Ganesha. He is the all-powerful one, the bestower of brilliance, the brilliance of 1,000 suns. And he is the remover of obstacles, clearing our way to victory over our lesser self. Join me in invoking the grace of the Lord. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva, Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. We invoke this auspicious form of the Lord at the beginning of all good work. And with just about 75 days to go, we certainly have our work cut out for us. When Hindu immigrants started arriving in the US in larger numbers after the passage of the Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1965, they came to a land of opportunity seeking a better life. Many of them arrived with one suitcase and little money, but they brought their culture with them, their festivals and their rituals. And most importantly, they brought their faith, a faith in God and an abiding faith in the American dream. When they arrived, they prayed quietly in their dorm rooms, and then in their apartments, and then in their homes. They prayed by themselves, and then with a few friends, and then a few more. Over time, they built temples, including iconic temples, like the one I grew up visiting in Pure Land, Texas, where we can gather to practice our religion freely, and where we can gather to reflect and become our best selves. That is the promise of America. I cannot imagine that when they arrived, they foresaw that one day their faith would be practiced and celebrated on the national stage. I cannot imagine that they foresaw their story being woven into the annals of American history. And yet, here we are 55 years later doing exactly that. The culture our parents brought with them is the culture of Sanatana Dharma, the path of eternal truth, of righteousness, a path that upholds and supports all of society. Incidentally, the values of Sanatana Dharma are also American values. When the Immigration Act was being debated, then Senator Ted Kennedy argued, "Our streets may not be paved with gold, but they are paved with the promise that men and women who live here, even strangers and newcomers, can rise as fast and as far as their skills will allow, no matter what their color is, no matter where the place they are born is," he said. It was a recognition that talented individuals willing to invest in building the American economy would have a home here. And our parents did exactly that. They are doctors and nurses, some of whom are still fighting on the front lines of COVID-19. They are engineers, they are scientists, they serve in the military, they are teachers, they are entrepreneurs, and they are essential workers. Our parents did their part to support themselves and their families. They supported their communities, and while doing so, they shared their skills and talents building up American industries and the American economy, thereby fulfilling their dharma, because that is the promise of America. That American promise, that this land is indeed the land of opportunity for all who are willing to give of themselves, is what is at stake in this election. And I hope we will remember that when we cast our vote this year. Sanatana Dharma is more than that, though. It is a way of living in harmony with our own essential true nature, which we recognize as the Paramatma. It is a way of living in loving acceptance of others in harmony with our community. It is a way of living where righteous thoughts, words, and deeds is a way of worship. The essence of Sanatana Dharma is inclusive. There are over 2 million Hindus in America, and Hindu culture is widely practiced, and not just by Hindu Americans. Yoga and meditation, which are rooted in Hindu tradition, have been adopted by Americans of all faiths and all walks of life. The root of yoga means to unite, to join our breath and our voice with our actions to ensure that we uphold and support the hopes and needs of all Americans. And that's why we need Joe Biden to lead us forward. Last year, I had the opportunity to meet Vice President Biden. I left our brief exchange knowing that he was a man who believed in the values of inclusivity, of loving acceptance above mere tolerance, of a world where we all have the security to evolve into our best selves. He believes in the same values that we do. Respect for our elders, not just paying lip service to that idea, but by ensuring that they live out their older years in dignity. Respect for our environment, not just protecting our parks for the sake of it, but as John Muir said, protecting those places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and cheer and give strength to body and soul alike. And most importantly, like us, he believes in the value of mutual respect for each other. He has championed these essential values inherent in Sanatana Dharma, both personally and professionally, throughout his extraordinary career in American politics. It would indeed be our good fortune to have Joe Biden as our next president of the United States. I hope we will reflect on these thoughts as we pray and meditate during our session today. At this time, please join me in welcoming Harini Krishnan.
Namaskaram. My name is Harini Krishnan, and I'm honored to be part of this event as a follower of the spiritual path of Sanatana Dharma, as an Indian classical vocalist, and as a proud Democrat. One of the core principles of Sanatana Dharma that has always inspired me is service to humanity. The Holy Scripture applicable to the entire humanity, Bhagavad Gita, says, Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuhu ma te sangaha astu akarmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, dharma, but do not feel entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Today is a historic day, as Senator Kamala Harris, the first woman of Indian descent to be nominated to be Vice President of the United States, accepts her nomination on the national stage. As a former lead volunteer organizer for Senator Harris, I had the privilege to hear the senator talk about the impact that two inspiring role models had in shaping her values and her love of service to humanity. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, who came to the US in pursuit of higher education and fought for justice as an activist in the civil rights movement, and her grandfather, P.V. Gopalan, who hailed from the village of Painganadu in Tamil Nadu. She would often talk about her visits to Madras, now known as Chennai, and the long conversations she would have with her grandfather, who instilled in her a love of public service. As Senator Harris ascends the national stage today to accept her VP nomination, and Vice President Biden accepts the Democratic nomination for president tomorrow, I will be joining followers of Sanatana Dharma around the globe in wishing them an auspicious victory in November, auguring a return to the values of compassion, truth, and justice to the White House, values that are at the core of our faith. In recognition of this historic occasion, I'm proud to share with you the Shanti Mantram from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which translates to the following. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be total health and well-being. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. May there be fulfillment. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be spiritual success and auspiciousness. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु मङ्गलं भवतु मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः It is now my honor to introduce you to Dr. Ajay Tejasvi, member of the AAPI Faith Leadership Council and an Art of Living instructor who will lead us in a guided meditation. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful invocation and for taking us into meditation, Harini. Truly, music is something that is so inherently connected with spirituality, especially spirituality from India. So, a very warm welcome to this guided meditation. I'd like to share a little bit about the sort of meditation that we'll be experiencing today. Meditation is essentially a mind without agitation, a pleasant state of mind, isn't it? When you meditate, you become much calmer and get more clarity in terms of your own thought. And whatever you do from that calm, pleasant state of mind is much better than what you do from an agitated state of mind, isn't it? When you're clear in your mind, you're able to communicate more effectively, more clearly. And isn't life a lot about communication? Life is also a journey towards happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that which is guaranteed to everyone in the Constitution. So whatever we do, it's really for happiness. Our job, family, service, all of this is to find happiness, right? So meditation is knowing that happiness is right within you. It's seeing God within you. Service is seeing God all around you. When we work and we serve, we often feel sometimes, out of energy, burned out. Meditation really helps you by energizing you and relaxes you at the same time. It's a combination of inner serenity and outer dynamism. So this is a time we'll take a few minutes just to replenish our energy so that we can go back and do what we want with renewed energy. So let's begin. I invite all of us to close our eyes. Sit with your spine erect. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold the breath and breathe out slowly. Breathe in again. Fully expand your lungs all the way into your stomach. Hold the breath. Hold it. And breathe out slowly as possible. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Breathe in again. And let go. Relax even more. Incoming breath energizes the body, and outgoing breath relaxes the body. Become aware of this phenomenon as you continue taking a few deep, long breaths in and breathing out as slowly as possible. Become aware of all the sounds in the environment, all the noises around you. sound of the air conditioning, sound of traffic, sound of people speaking in the distance, the sound of your own heart. Breathe in again and let go. Breathe in one more time. And as you breathe out, relax. You are at peace with your surroundings this very moment. Let's take our attention to our body. This body is a beautiful gift, a precious gift to us from nature, from God. Deeply honor your own body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, relax the whole body. Become aware of your thoughts, positive thoughts or negative thoughts. Let them be. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, relax even more. Become aware of your feelings and emotions, if there are any. Positive or negative emotions. Let them be. You're in harmony with your thoughts and emotions right this moment. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, relax even more. At your core, you are peace, you are joy, you are love. Few more deep breaths in and out at your own pace. Another deep breath in. And breathe out. One more deep breath in. And breathe out again. Become aware of your emotions. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of your body and surroundings. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, slowly and gently, let's open your eyes. Welcome back. Now it is my honor to welcome Dr. Murali Balaji, who's part of the South Asians for Biden communication team and a community leader, to share his remarks.
Thank you so much, Ajay. Namaste, Vanakkam, how you do? My name is Murali Balaji, and I'm a second-generation Hindu-American and a second-generation Democrat. As Neil said, there are over 2 million Hindu-Americans in the United States. Whether we can trace our lineage to a village in the Indian subcontinent, sugarcane plantations in Guyana or Trinidad and Tobago, Cape Coast Castle in Ghana, or a dairy farm in Iowa, we are one of the party's most loyal constituencies. This is why it's so important to have our voices heard and our faith acknowledged. One of the core pillars of Hinduism is dharma, the idea of righteous action, and its continuation regardless of outcome. We must always act according to our principles and not betray them simply for an expedient result or instant gratification. The moral arc of the universe is long, but it always bends towards righteousness. We're in dark times, and we often look at our scriptures as something to guide us. One of the most ancient mantras in Hinduism is the powerful Gayatri mantra. I'll say it like this and give you the translation in just a second. It goes, Om Bhurbhuvassuva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. In rough translation, it means, we meditate on the glory of that being who has produced this universe. May that being enlighten our minds. For those of us who are Hindu and Democrat, let our dharma guide us in acting in every way we can to helping the Biden-Harris ticket in November and beyond. Thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce Anurima Bhargava, Vice Chair of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. I am one of the many Hindu delegates to this gathering. We have come from across the country, and we are the daughters and the sons of those who crossed the seas to these shores. And in these dark days, where we have seen the rise of hate and divides, we have come together for the greater good and humanity. To engage in karma as a community, not for the fruits, for our future. To fulfill our dharma of building an America that is inclusive of all of us and free from discrimination and harm. We are grateful that many Hindus served to guide this gathering, this convention, and drafted the platform that stands at its center. A platform that is infused with our values and our desire that all find health, happiness, and peace. I too am going to end with the mantra from the Shanti mantra, and I will do it in English. Onto the heavens, let there be peace. Unto the sky and the earth, let there be peace. Peace be unto the water. Unto the herbs and trees, let there be peace. Unto all the gods, let there be peace. Unto the creator of the universe and unto us, all, let there be peace. And may we all realize that peace together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, and Salam. My name is Ajay Bhutodia, and I'm on the National Finance Committee for Joe Biden and proud day one member of the Joe Biden 2020 campaign. I was born in Rajasthan and grew up in Guwahati, Assam. I was born in a Jain family, and my mother follows Jainism, and my dad followed Hinduism. My dad was a strong devotee of Lord Hanuman and Ganpati Bappa. My mom does Jain prayers and is also a strong devotee of Ma Durga. Growing up, I regularly chanted Hanuman Chalisa. One of the verses, Sankat kate mite sab pira, jo sumirat Hanumat balbira, reminds me through prayers we can have strength, overcome challenges, and have peace of mind. Growing up, my father taught me to chase my dreams no matter how big. Inspired by him, like many immigrants, I came to the US with a single suitcase and an empty bank account in search of limitless opportunities. Over 20 years as an entrepreneur in the Bay Area, I have reached that dream and worked to make sure it's there for others in our community. And that's what led me to help Vice President Biden and Dr. Biden on their free community college initiative that have helped so many immigrants and young people get an education and a good job. I had the honor of hosting Dr. Jill Biden at my home earlier this year. And one of my favorite moments was presenting a statue of Lord Ganesha, Ganpati Bappa, to Dr. Biden. I pray to Lord Ganesha and Hanumanji to remove all obstacles from path of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris to get elected. We want to be able to worship in mandir, masjid, gurudwaras, and churches in USA without fear of racism and hate crimes. We want to leave a better planet for our next generation, to grow our small businesses, and for our family and friends to be welcome here as immigrants. So I'm in this fight with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to restore the soul of our nation for all of us. Joe Biden is and will be always the best friend of India and Indo-Americans. Us and Joe Biden share the same values. Family is the most important, and it all starts with the family. I remember President Obama and Joe Biden hosting the first Diwali event in White House. First Sikh and Jain events were hosted and continue to be hosted Muslim celebrations in White House. One of my favorite pictures of Joe Biden and Dr. Jill Biden is standing at Rajghat in front of the word Hey Ram, paying homage to Mahatma Gandhi during his 4-day trip to India during Obama-Biden administration. Our nation is going through a time of immense challenge. Everyone is facing some of the greatest physical, financial, and emotional burdens they have encountered in their lives. This is a time where those of us who can spare a moment must ask what we can do for our country and our fellow Americans. It is a time where we must band together and do everything we can to help elect Joe Biden to be our next president. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has the experience and character to lead us out of the ongoing economic and healthcare disaster that the current administration has blundered us into. We cannot all serve in the armed forces, our government, or the front line fighting the pandemic, but there is always a way to help. As we sprint to the election day, we can demonstrate our faith in our democracy, our freedom, and our strong American values by fighting for Biden 2020 campaign. I again say Biden-Harris 2020 campaign. Each of us can phone bank, text bank, register people to vote, reach out to your friends, uncles, aunties, neighbors, or donate or fundraise, and spread awareness of the importance of this election and the strong vision Vice President Biden and Kamala Harris has for America. Please inspire your friends and family with the strength of belief in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and urge them to vote by mail or in person this November 3rd. America का नेता कैसा हो, Joe Biden जैसा हो. If you'd like to join the Biden team in volunteering phone banking and text banking, you can text AAPI to 30330. Again, you can text AAPI to 30330 or go to AAPI's for the Biden website at www.aapisforjoe.com www.aapisforjoe.com. I also want to wish you all a happy Ganesh Chaturthi, which is coming up, and let's say Ganpati Bappa Moria. Thank you.